Who else joined us?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada. Okay. Sutapa is also here. Sutapa Mataji. And we are indeed broadcasting. So we will get started after this brief prayer to the spiritual master. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, so let's get going. Which verse are we going to do today?
2.46.
2.46. And which one did we do last time?
2.45.
You're not supposed to give me the number. You're supposed to give me the verse.
Oh, okay.
How many
You mean
people
recite the whole verse?
Sorry?
Recite the whole verse now, together.
Yes. Not together, one at a time.
Oh, yeah, we can start.
All right, you want to start? Who wants to start?
Guniya Vishya Veda Nishta Guniyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmavan.
Atmavan. And you said that all without looking at it?
No, little bit.
You looked a little bit? Okay, that's good progress. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
All right, go.
Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Pavarjana Nidvando Nityas Sattvasto Niryoga Chema Atmavan.
Very nice.
Okay, Mataji, I can go next.
Okay, go for it.
Traiguna Vishaya Veda Nistraiguna Bhavarjuna Nidando Nitya Sattvasto Niryogo Shema Atmavan.
Very nice. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, go.
Traigunayo Vishaya Yoga Nistraigunayo Bhava Arjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan.
Right. So just pay a little bit attention to A versus O, right? Like Traigunya, first line Traigunya.
Vishya Yoga.
And then the next line is Nistragunyo. So first line is Gunya, next line is Gunyo. Right? And don't break the words unnecessarily, right? Like Niryog is Niryog. You don't have to break it into Nira Yog because it's not Nira, right? There's no A there. Okay? But yeah. Do you want to do it one more time?
Yeah, Mataji, Maita.
Hold on. I'm still with Varshana. Yeah.
Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryogo Shema Atmavan.
Niryoga.
Niryoga Kshema Atmavan.
Okay. So, yeah. Varshana, you want to do it one more time?
Yes. Traigunayo Vishya Yoga.
Okay, go back and look at the verse.
Mataji, I don't have the book today.
You don't have the book today? How come? You always have the book.
No, Mataji, today actually my son is sleeping in that room. So he came very late at night. So I don't want to disturb him.
Okay, you don't have a cell phone where you can look up the verse?
1 minute, yes.
Okay, you try that while we go to Surabhi Govinda.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Nirte gunya vishaya veda, nirte gunya bhava arjuna, nirdvando nitya sattvasto, niryoga shema atmavan.
Yeah. So again, Varshana, be mindful of where it is gunya, where it is gunyo, and then bhavarjuna. One word, bhavarjuna. Don't break it, bhava arjuna. No, bhavarjuna. Keep that.
Traigunya Vishya Yoga Nistraigunayo Bhava Arjuna.
Don't break that line. No, don't break. Bhavarjuna.
Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna.
Correct.
Nirdvando Nityasattvasto Nirayogakshema Atmavan.
Niryoga. There is a after the G, right?
Niryogakshema Atmavan.
Kshema Atmavan. All right, good. How do you feel?
Mataji, I felt very learning is very stressful for me. I felt yesterday. And I mean, I was really stressed that I have to do. Whereas, Mataji, the 8th chapter, which has been given for the Chad, and now we have been reading since last many days. So, I mean, automatically, after when I finish the one shloka, the second shloka automatically comes to the mind. So I was just thinking that I'll write down few important shlokas and recite them every day, and probably that will be better for me to learn.
No.
Okay.
This is your mind telling you not to obey. This is the mind telling you not to do it, right? Although it was difficult for you to memorize, you did do it. You messed up on some of the vowels. Now we don't know whether you're messing up on the vowels on chapter 8 or not. Somebody has to hear you, right? So
I think this is actually good, you know.
it should
When
be
you
good, yeah.
when you recite all the verses together, it just comes automatically, and you don't think about the meaning. And then if you were to ask to be to recite just one verse on its own, like say 24, instead of starting from 1, you may not know it. And then because you have to start from the beginning, and then your mind knows the sequence. But I think doing each verse on its own, it's good, because then next time, I think if somebody says chapter 2, verse 44, verse 45, we'll know automatically, you know, and you think about the meaning of each word. And when you recite, when I started doing it in the beginning, it's like Trey and then Nir-yoga, Nistrey, Nirdvanda. I've got to remember which order they are. So I just remembered, okay, it comes Trey, Nistrey, and then Nirdvanda and Nir-yoga. And then you start thinking about the meaning, and then it sticks in your mind. You know.
Yes, and that is why Vaisheshika Prabhu says that, okay, you have memorized chapter 8, now recite to me in the backward direction. And you can't recite it in the backward direction, because that connection is the mind in always only in the forward direction, unless you know each of the individual verses. So next time you start doing the chant, which will change to chapter 9 now after Ekadashi or on Ekadashi day, then like Aruni Mataji said, look at each verse in its individuality. Like this is 2.45. So when you're memorizing, you say, okay, this is 9.1. Rajaguhya, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. This is 9.1, you know. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam. This is 9.26, like that, right? So even while you're memorizing whole chapters, keep that connection. And nothing to beat understanding the meaning of that verse. If you understand the meaning. So you, who's going to tell me the meaning?
Okay, you can say the words, or you want the meaning of the whole
Give
verse.
me the essence, yeah. Give me the essence of, you know, what that verse means. What is being said in that verse.
Krishna is telling Arjuna to transcend the 3 gunas and to be free from the desires of protection and gain, so that the soul is in its pure state.
In the self. Very good. Okay, so let me start sharing the screen, and you can all recite this together. But fantastic work, all of you. Usually in a class, one person or the other person drops, but all of you memorized it. So you want to recite this together on the count of 3? Yes or yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3. Go for it.
Trigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nidvando Nityasattvasto Niryoga-kshema Atmavan.
Very nice. So are we getting ready for 2.46?
Mataji, I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So in the translation, it gives Nir-yoga-kshema, free from ideas of gain and protection. So nir-yoga is free, I'm guessing. What is Kṣēma?
Ideas of gain and protection.
I mean, is it ideas of gain and protection?
Gain,
Is that
yeah.
just the loose translation, or the literal one?
No,
Kṣēma is
Kṣēma, yeah. Yoga Kṣēma Vahameham, right? I will take care of everything, Krishna says in chapter 9. Kṣēma is about your protection.
so Kṣēma is protection, gain and protection.
Right. And then nir-yoga, don't get connected with these ideas that I need to be protected, I need to be in gain, no loss for me, like that.
Oh,
The dualities, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Welcome. So 2.46, are we ready?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So here in this 2.45, and again, we also need to understand the connection between the verses. So in 2.45, what basically he's saying is he's talking about disconnecting, right? Disconnecting from things which are material. Triguniya Vishya Veda. So Vedas are going to talk about the Triguniyas, right? How to overcome all these tortures that we get in this material world and you transcend, right? So this is about, don't go to the Vedas. And the question will be like, then what do I do if I don't go to the Vedas? Because that's all I know, right? Or at least most people. So now here he's saying, yāvān artha uda-pāne, sarvataḥ samplutodake, tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu, brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ, yāvān artha uda-pāne, sarvataḥ samplutodake, tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu, brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ. Yāvān artha uda-pāne, sarvataḥ samplutodake, tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu, brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ. So looking at the word and the meaning. Yāvān. Yāvān means all that. Artha is meant. Uda-pāne. Uda-pāne means in a well of water. Sarvataḥ, in all respects. Samplutodake. Udak means water, right? So samplutodake is in a great reservoir of water. Tāvān, similarly. So yāvān and tāvān, right? All that similarly. Like that and like this. Tāvān, similarly. Sarveṣu, in all. Vedeṣu, Vedic literatures. Brāhmaṇasya, of the man who knows the Supreme Brahman. That's the definition of a Brahman. Who is a Brahman? One who knows the Supreme Brahman. Vijānataḥ, who is in complete knowledge. Translation, all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So all purposes served by a small well. So if you go to a well, what do we do? Why do we go to a well? To get water, to quench our thirst, right? Like that. So he's saying that you can go to a small well. And if you're getting your thirst quenched by a small well, then be assured that a great reservoir of water, like a lake or a river, can also quench your thirst, right? That's the main thing of the verse that is saying, the comparison, like, what you get from a small well, you'll also get from a lake or a river. Similarly, whatever you get out of the purpose of the Vedas, right? Whatever you get, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. If you know what's the purpose behind the Vedas, then what is the purpose behind the Vedas? Can somebody quote a verse?
Triguniya Vishya Veda, to tell you about the three gunas.
Okay, but what's the real purpose of the Vedas?
Enlightenment.
It comes later in Bhagavad-gītā, but it's a very famous verse.
Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja.
So where is the reference to Vedas in that verse?
Vedascha sarvasya aham
Very nice. Very
Aham vedo veda.
Vedanta kit. Sarvasya chaham hidi sannivishtu Mattasya jnanam apohanam cha
Namapohanamscha.
vedesya sarve ahameva vedo vedanta veda vede vijānataḥ. So vedesya sarve aham eva vedo. So the purpose of the Vedas is that you should know Krishna through the Vedas. Right? So if you go and try to find Krishna, then dharma, artha, kam, and moksha will be taken care of by devotional service. You don't have to be a jnani and try to understand the Vedas. Now, which verse from chapter 8, Varshana Mataji, talks similar concept? That you will get everything by devotional service.
I won't be able to tell you that way.
Because of the flow, right?
Yeah, because of the
Come to
flow.
the end of the flow. What's the last verse? Go jump, look at it. Anybody remember what's the last verse? How many verses are there in chapter 8? Okay, those who are reading chat.
28.
28, correct. So let's go to 28. Okay, this one won't tell me like that. Okay, Varshana Mataji, tell us what is chapter number 8. Verse number 28.
वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपःसु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम्.
So what does it mean?
A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the result derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifice, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all of these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode.
Does it sound similar to what we are saying here today?
Yes, Mataji.
All right. So as you continue to come across verses, also try to make that connection, because connection is also one way of remembering things. Right? So you'll say, okay, and it gets emphasized. And emphasis basically means that you have to do it all the time. So although, Varshana Mataji, you were doing 30 verses or 28 verses every day, and you are remembering it because of repetition. I don't know how many times you really repeated 2.26. If you repeat 2.26 also once every day, guaranteed you will remember it. And 2.46, right? And like I had said last time, very important it is to repeat it today itself. If you don't repeat it today, then tomorrow it will be difficult. So get the jump start by, making some time today. How long does it take to recite a verse?
Hardly a minute, minute and a half.
A minute or minute and a half. Okay. So let's have a clock. I'm going to ask Aruni Mataji. I'm going to start a stopwatch, right? Aruni Mataji, are you comfortable reciting this verse? Yāvān, artha, uda-pāne. Yes or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So on the count of 3, please start reciting it. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3. Go.
Yāvān, artha, uda-pāne. Oh, give me the tune, please.
Okay. You can't say that because my stopwatch is running. So let me just reset the stopwatch. I'm trying to time it. Okay. Yāvān, artha, uda-pāne, sarvataḥ, samplutodake. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Triguniya and Vishya-veda because you know it, right? Let's time that one. All right. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3, go.
Traigunya Vishya-veda, Nistraigunyo Pavajana, Nirdvando Nitya Sattvastu, Niryoga Shima Atmavan.
Okay, how many minutes do you think passed?
15 seconds, maybe.
11.06 from the Apple phone. So do you have 11.06 or 15 seconds today to repeat it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yes,
And
Mataji.
so what is lacking then? Why do we not do it?
Sincerity and dedication.
Determination, right? And determination is one of the qualities of a devotee. Okay. So go for the devotion today.
And
Okay.
Mataji,
What I
what
found is
I
that-
have realized, that the verse is on the phone, so it helps that you don't need to carry the book everywhere. Means you, while you are cooking, you just trying to memorize the second line, and then you open the phone and then you can take a look. So that is helping.
There you go. And this is the Krishna consciousness. Being aware of Krishna all the time, being, going for it, and with this determination, come what may, even if I have to cook, even I have this, even I have that, right? I have to memorize it. It's only 15 seconds worth of investment every day. And when you start relishing it, right?
I've also found that when you recite the verses, like, if you ask me to recite whatever we've done, chapter 1, 12, and 15, I can recite it to you, but only if you tell me to start from the beginning. And then what happens is when you're reciting it, like when I sort of started reading it every day after we did it. And then, so I know it, but then if I suddenly want to say, okay, this verse, I don't know. And what happens is when I'm reciting it, I just say it automatically, and then my mind starts drifting to something else because I'm used to listening to the sound, so I know what the sound is. So my lips will go on chanting the all the verses based on the sound that it's in my memory, but then my mind is thinking of something else. So I'm not focusing. But when you learn the individual words, you have to focus on every word so that you remember.
Yes. And the positioning. Yeah. One of you said that, I think you said it, right? That the first one is Triguniya, next one is Nistriguniya, next one is Nirdvando. And be very careful on every word. And this is where the focus comes. And so when you are focusing that, okay, I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to see, because what happens is that your mind says, I know that already. I've read chapter 2 so many times, 10 years I'm reading it, right? I know it, but we don't know it actually to the precise level that we need to know. And so, Te Guniya, and then Vishaya. So there's a bar on the A, there's no bar on the first A. Okay, so I have to pay less emphasis, more emphasis like that. Gunyo, Bhavarjuna. Oh yeah, I remember Shraddha-mati was saying, don't break it, so I should not break it. So as you focus on this, that is samadhi that we were talking about in the 6th chapter on Friday. Right? This is the samadhi that you get total absorption. And what is this? This is, you're totally absorbed in a verse from Bhagavad-gītā, and Krishna and his words are not different. So when you're trying to do this, you are focusing on Krishna, and that is Krishna consciousness, right? So Krishna consciousness will be spread throughout your day like that, right? So when you're focusing, really sitting hard, trying to find your 15 seconds and trying to focus on it, that's Krishna consciousness. When you're trying to think of how can I learn it, one way, like how Sutapa Mataji said that it's a big project, and so you break it down. It's a big problem, so you break it down into smaller lines, right? Break the problem into smaller problems. So, okay, I have 4 problems now. What are those 4 problems? These 4 lines. These are my 4 problems. I'll tackle them one at a time. So today is Monday. I'll just tackle one. Triguniya Vishaya Vida. Tuesday, I will only focus on this Triguniya Bhavarjana. Right? So my problem becomes much smaller. And then by Thursday, you have done all of them. Then you have Friday and Saturday. Like that, right? Okay, so let's spend some time trying to, and so don't be disheartened, Varshana Mataji, if you did not do it, right? Just improve your techniques of, applying yourself to the words, and you'll get it. You'll get it. Get that determination in you.
And Mataji, just one more thing I want to share. It's like I was taking one line in a day, so that also helped a lot. It's not that the 4 lines you can memorize in a day.
Yes, and then sarvataḥ, for example, sarvataḥ samplutodake. So that when you're saying sarvataḥ, then also in your mind, okay, with that line also do the meaning. Sarvataḥ we all know, sarvatra, sarvataḥ we know, sarvataḥ is all, right? Even if you vaguely know all, that is fine. Samplutodake, okay, now udake, I should know that it's water. Sampluta in a great reservoir of water, okay. So combined word for a reservoir of water. Now you learned one more word in Sanskrit, samplutodake, right? Like that. So let's spend some time here that we have, and we'll do it one line at a time. Yāvān artha uda-pāne. Okay, Varshana Mataji, tell me.
Yāvān artha uda-pāne.
Yeah. So yāvān, and I think I did it wrong. Yāvān artha uda-pāne. So not
Yāvān
uda-pāne.
artha uda-pāne.
Not uda-pāne.
Yāvān artha uda-pāne.
Yeah, uda-pāne, like soft A and a hard A there. Okay. So now we'll go in the line in the order in which we had appeared in this class today. So starting with Aruni Mataji, just the first line.
Yāvān, are we reciting it or are we?
Yeah,
breaking it?
reciting. Yeah. I think you all have gone beyond this stage now, but I still will keep it for reference. Yeah, because some difficult words will come. Yeah, in future.
Yāvān artha uda-pāne.
Yeah, uda-pāne, you did it perfectly. Yeah. Okay, Garima. Garima can speak.
Yāvān artha udapāne.
Uda-pāne. Surabhi.
Yāvān artha udapāne.
Yāvān, right? A with the bar, A with the bar, right?
Udapāne.
Yeah, uda-pāne. All right,
Yeah.
Varshana Mataji.
Yāvān artha uda-pāne.
Very nice. Sutapa.
Yāvān artha uda-pāne.
Okay, artha, yeah, uda-pāne. Suruchi.
Yāvān artha uda-pāne.
All right. Sarvataḥ, samplutodake. And then this, because this is a little difficult, you can take refuge of this line. Okay, for a few times you can take refuge of this line. Okay, starting again with Aruni Mataji.
Is it my turn?
Second line, yeah.
Okay. Sarvataḥ samplutodake.
Very nice. Very much. I think he has a baby around her. Yeah, let's skip that. Surabhi.
Sarvataḥ samplutodake.
Udake. Okay. Varshana Mataji.
Sarvataḥ samplutodake.
Samplutodake. Sarvataḥ. Right?
Sarvataḥ samplutodake.
Samplutodake. It's a tongue twister. Okay. Good. Sutapa.
Sarvataḥ samplutodake.
Very nice. Suruchi.
Sarvataḥ sampulodake.
Look at this verse. Go slow and look at this line.
Samplutodake.
Udake, right? Okay. Garima, are you in a position to unmute yourself? Okay, I don't think. All right, let's go back to Aruni Mataji, starting with the next line, third line.
Tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Wow, that's a good one. Okay.
Tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Tāvān, not tāvān.
Tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Sarveṣu vedeṣu. Hey, Arjun, you should also recite. Then, yes. Okay, Surabhi. Is he trying to? Okay.
Tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Very nice. Varshana.
Tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Sarveṣu vedeṣu.
Okay, we missed. Okay, that's fine. Next line. Brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Yeah, come, yeah, everybody go. I don't have to call out your names. You know your order.
Is this brāhmaṇasya or brāhmanas? Yeah.
Brāhmaṇasya. That's one word.
Brāhmaṇasya.
Yeah, this is Brāhmaṇasya. Those who understand the Sanskrit, Brāhmaṇasya is one.
Vijānataḥ.
Yeah, vijānataḥ. Okay. Next one.
So Garima, shall I go?
Yeah.
Okay, brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Vijānataḥ. Right.
Brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Brāhmaṇasya, not ye.
Brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Right. Sutapa.
Brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Okay. Suruchi.
Brahmanasya vijānataḥ.
All right. Now, each one of you will recite the whole verse one time, starting with Arni Mataji.
yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Very nice.
yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Very nice. So,
yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
very nice. Archana?
Yeah. Yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān
Sarvataḥ.
sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Very nice. Okay.
Yāvān artha
Yāvān. No. Yāvān.
yāvān. Yes, Mataji. Yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
Nice.
yāvān artha upadāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ.
All right, good. And what is the essence of this verse?
The reservoir can
Also.
serve the same purpose as a small well. So the Vedas can also serve everybody, those who understand it.
Yeah. If you understand the purpose behind the Vedas, you'll get the same thing as you get by being engaged with the Vedas, which is basically dharma, artha, kam, and moksha, right? And let's see if there is something that Prabhupada tells us about 2.46 here. 2.46 is the verse that we have done today. So he's saying the rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the karma-kāṇḍa section of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Kṛṣṇa, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Kṛṣṇa and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Kṛṣṇa is also mentioned in 15th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, 15.7. The living entities are parts and parcels of Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, revival of Kṛṣṇa consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Aho bhat swa pachato gariyan yad jibhagre vartate nam tubhyam te pustapaste juhu sasnurarya brahmanuchur nam grananti yete. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family, like that of a Chandal dog-eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be best of the Aryan family. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all the Vedanta and Upanishads thoroughly. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this way. The best purpose of the Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master had found him to be a great fool and thus asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Kṛṣṇa, and the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. What do you think? Your plans for today are, after listening to this, what would you do?
Take 0.15 seconds to recite the verse.
Okay, take 15 seconds to recite the verse. And also from the purport, what do we get? What is the other thing we should be focusing on? Chanting the holy names of the Lord, right?
Namasmरण.
Right. Okay.
I just want to ask Mataji the pronunciation. When you have in the middle of a line, when you have the aha, some people say like, if you bring up the verse, I can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find my controls to do that.
Vedas, I'm trying to.
Sarveṣu, vedeṣu.
Yeah, so you have sarvataḥ. So some people say sarvataḥ, samplutodake. So that's also okay, right? Instead of saying
if you look at the if you look at the Sanskrit alphabet, there is the vowels there. So there's a, I, u, o, and aha. So it is aha, right? That the dots. So aha, the two dots are coming from aha. So sarvataḥ.
Sarvataḥ, but then when they say it, like, when you're saying it together in the middle of a sentence, like when it comes at the end, they say vijānataḥ, but when it comes in the middle for a smooth flow, say sarvataḥ samplutodake.
No, sarvataḥ also the flow is smooth. It depends on how you are defining the flow, right? And as you progress, you will see that sometimes people don't, even if it's at the end of it, they will not put the emphasis. They will still say sarvataḥ, even at the end. And so you'll find different people saying, yeah, it is like that, but you don't necessarily have to do it. So there are ways of doing certain things. There's the right way. And then if you deviate a little bit, that's also okay, right? Because somebody might just come back and say, oh, what about the Chinese? They don't even know how to pronounce Sanskrit, right? They say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Is that wrong? No, it's not wrong.
Hare Krishna.
Like that, because they don't have that word out there. So
it's like Hail Krishna, Hail Krishna. So they'll translate it to that.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's the devotional service that matters. That is true. But the purposes of this class is Sanskrit pronunciation, right? So we have to keep that in context. And it's not that God is going to, get very angry with you that you said uda-pāne and did not say uda-pāne as it was there. It's not like that. But since, we have to understand the focus and the goal of this class, like we're trying to do it the right way.
But in Sanskrit, that kind of thing does change the meaning. Like uda-pāne. I mean, I don't know what the meaning is.
It does change the meaning, yes. Vowels do change the meaning. And the solace. And the solace that we have and the coverage that we have is those kinds of things that the pronunciation is going to impact the result happens only for the karma-kāṇḍa section. Yeah. When you are trying to pronounce certain verses or certain mantras to get some material gain. There, if you did not pronounce it properly, then you are doomed. You will get the opposite effect, right? Nidrasan and Indrasan, right? So Kumbhakarna, that happened with him. But if you are doing devotional service, because it's transcendental, then the things are different. And that's why, those from other countries who can't pronounce Sanskrit can get away with chanting the holy names of the Lord in their own sweet way that they do it. Like that. Right? But again, coming back here to saying, the purpose of this class is to learn how to recite Sanskrit like that. Okay, so good work. Now you have got more work to do. And as you're reciting this, this verse and memorizing this verse today, just take 15 seconds of your time. Sometime today itself, so that it will go. Yeah. And in the beginning, we found samplutodake was very difficult for us, seemed difficult, but all of you got it now. All of you got it, right? Uda-pāne, yeah, maybe all of you haven't gotten that, but focus on that. And then there is a sarveṣu. That was an easy one. That part is easy. So, tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu. Because you're already doing that in chapter 8. Vedeṣu sarveṣu. So here it is sarveṣu vedeṣu, opposite the other order like that. Okay. So we have gone way over our allocated time today for the class, but good work. We'll meet again next week on this topic. Hare Krishna, Dandar Pranams, Panchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhubhyev cha, Patitanam Pavnebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Gopremanate.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Welcome.